being a young guy, I had a chance to travel to Europe. I think by the time I was 12, I went every year from 2 to 12 or 2 to 13. So I'd been every year for about 4 to 6 weeks traveling through Germany, Austria, the Netherlands. And I have German and Dutch family. So, you know, when you do that as a kid, you're sort of indoctrinated to another culture, but you don't realize it. You know, you're American, you know, but you understand this other dynamic of culture. So after hitting the road really hard in 1990, or well, actually from 84 to 91 into 92 with my brother, we had done 4 records, 2 with MCA, 2 with Mesa Blue Moon. We had a fair amount of good airplay and, you know, some, I say moderate success, good success in some areas. You know, good, always good press. David was always getting, you know, something in Downbeat or Jazz Is or Jazz Times and those kinds of things. And at the end of 91, I was a little frustrated with all the gigs we were doing. It's just that I wanted to leave. I didn't want to just do gigs in the States. So I basically, on the way home from a gig with my brother, we had finished up this tour. We were driving back from Oklahoma City. Our bass player and our road tech. And those guys were sleeping. It was probably about 2 in the morning, driving through maybe the panhandle of Oklahoma or the panhandle of Texas. And I just looked at my brother and I said, let's go to Europe. So what we did is we planned a little bit of a game plan, you know, to really arrange how we would do this. We really didn't have much more than a few contacts. We really, I mean, flew by the seat of our pants, really, when I look back to it. Most people who want to do those things, you want to plot and scheme and get everything in order. Well, we fell into a set of circumstances where we met a guy from the Netherlands in LA who was just hanging out. We became friends with him, and he kept saying, come to Antwerp, Belgium. I went, I don't even know Antwerp, Belgium. What is Antwerp, Belgium, you know? And took us a couple of months to get our stuff together. May of 1992, we moved. And I told my brother, I remember as we were leaving, we stayed a few days in New York, and I said, well, we'll either have a really nice, you know, 3-month kind of hang and vacation, or we'll end up staying. Well, we ended up staying. I was there for 5 years. I moved to Antwerp. I lived there for 4 years. It offered me an opportunity to go to Vienna, Austria. But during that time, what really opened up my game-changing moment, if you will, was meeting up with this lady, Barbara Dennerlein, who's one of the premier B3 players, and she's from Munich, Germany. I went down because the distributor for our label was going to be Enja Records. And I went down to meet Matthias. My brother and I were just trying to get everywhere in Europe, just meet people and just try to throw our names around and network. And there we were in Munich. We met with Matthias. He was going to redistribute our last record, our 4th record from the States. But at the same time, I had a really cool trio with the piano player, Ron Pedley, who still plays with Barry Manilow, who was playing with Barry back then. And we had this sort of Keith Jarrett-esque kind of trio. And I gave the tape to Matthias in hopes that he would be so interested and give me a personal record deal that I would have my own Bruce Becker record. And he sat, he listened to every note. He did not once interrupt, pause, talk, forward, or anything. He listened to maybe about 32, 33 minutes of music. And he stopped at the end of that, and he looked at me in his German accent, and he kind of scratched his beard like a German guy would, and he said, well, man, I think if you play like that, you're going to work. So, okay. But Matthias, what about a record deal? No, man, I have too many things on my label. I can't do anything right now. I was like, oh, dejected. So, but here's the game changer. I had already known about Barbara Dennerlein, and she had done 3 records for Enja. And just happenstance, I guess she had contacted Matthias, or Matthias said, hey, there's a guy from America who's living in Antwerp, Belgium, who's a great drummer for your thing. Maybe you want to contact him. And of course, you know, 3 weeks later, I didn't know she was going to call. I get this answering machine message on my phone in my apartment of this sheepish German girl saying, yeah, man, I heard about you from Matthias, and, you know, would you like to play with me on some gigs, and maybe you could come down to Munich? And really, that was literally a game-changing moment for me because I got to play some wonderful jazz festivals, great club tours with her, and just what a fantastic experience. I got to do a lot of things that I wouldn't have had I not moved to Europe. That really opened up many avenues and many connections, and still to this day.